Hey guys, welcome to another video on this Lil Homesteader. My name is Vivian and today I'm gonna be sharing with you guys 10 things that you will need for your pet chickens, and I really recommend buying these 10 things before you get the chickens or the chicks because it'll help you and later on, and it'll speed up your process of integrating them into your home, and it'll be very nice. So the first thing that you're gonna need, this one's optional and it depends if you're gonna start off your flock with chicks. So the first thing you're gonna need is a chick home, so like a little place where you're gonna keep the chickens. It's called a brooder, I think. So where you're basically gonna keep the chicks for a month or two. I don't really remember how long. You're gonna keep them in there before you integrate them outside. And with that, you're gonna need like a little cage or something. We used one of those plastic boxes, storage bins, and we basically put shavings in there. We put their little feeder, their water. We cut little holes on it, that way they can breathe. Yeah, that really helps. And also the heat lamp, that's also very important for your chicks because they will not survive if you don't have a heater, like a heat lamp in for them, so you're gonna need that. But another thing that you can use, which is the second thing in my list, is a cage. And that's also very important. We use that for our second set of chicks, and it's really useful as well because you can use them for your chicks. You can use it when you're starting to introduce them to your original flock, because you can't just put your chicks in the coop with your big hens, because then your big hens can kill the little chicks or the new chickens. And that's also another thing that you can use the cage for when you're integrating new hens to your flock, or when you have an injured chicken, you can use that as like a little hospital type thing where you put them in there and you take care of them while they're separated from their flock. Or you can use them when you have a broody chicken, which is also really convenient. You can basically use this cage for literally anything, and even if you tell yourself that you're not gonna need it, I promise you will need it at some point. We have a bunny cage. It's a pretty large bunny cage. We got the largest one that we could find at Tractor Supply. But a lot of people use dog cages, which is probably a little bit much better because they're bigger, where your chicken fits in it. They're able to at least move a little bit, and where they have room for food and water. So that's very important. The next thing that you're gonna need is a chicken coop, which is also very important, because where else are your chickens gonna live? So I'm gonna show you how our chicken coop looks like if you don't know how it looks like already. Okay, so here's our chicken coop. A lot of chicken coops look different. My dad built this one like out of scratch. People buy like the chicken coops online, where they just give you everything you need and then you set it up with like instructions stuff, and there's Leo and stuff like that. Or you could do what my dad did and just build your own. So the next thing is pretty obvious, is you're gonna need feed. So, and that's food, and you're gonna need lots of it. It depends on how many chickens you have, obviously. It's a lot of different types of food. There's layer feed, there's also chick starter feed. There's so many chicken feeds out there. Just find one that suits your flock, and that is good for them. And there's obviously some that have more protein in them, and there's some that have a little less protein. Some have more calcium in them, and some don't. It just all depends on what your chicken needs. You could also feed them some kitchen scraps, which is, we feed them a lot of those a lot. So a lot of extra vegetables, fruits, just a bunch of little things we give them. We also let them go outside. They eat the grass, they eat leaves, they eat bugs. So just have enough food for them. And you're gonna need something to store that feed. I really recommend having a storage bin because, trust me, some mice or some very interesting little animals might come in and try to eat your chicken feed and might bite through that chicken feed bag just to get to that food. And trust me, that is not fun to deal with at all, and it's also not safe for your chickens. So buy yourself a bin. There's obviously some special ones like in Tractor Supply. Now the next thing you need is obviously a feeder, which is where your chickens are gonna eat from. You can make your own. My dad made one for my chickens out of this pipe thing. Or you can go to Tractor Supply or to your local feed store, and hopefully they have like some feeders there that you can buy. There's some very nice plastic ones. They're pretty convenient, pretty easy to use. Just fill it up with food and you'll be good. And your chickens will be happy because they have food. There's also some really nice, beautiful colors. So that's nice. I'm pretty sure there's different sizes, so get one that's enough for your flock. Another thing that you're gonna need is a water where they're gonna keep their water, and that's also something very important. The same way you need water and I need water and Leo, my brother, needs water. Chickens, cats, dogs, every single living thing in this world, even plants, need water. So please get your chickens water, okay? And it also helps them produce eggs. So having enough water will help you have enough eggs that day. So make sure your chickens are drinking enough water and they have somewhere where you can keep that water. Again, there's some very nice ones in Tractor Supply and feeder stores, but they have these really cool plastic. Some people use these other types of bins and feeder water. So there's different types of waters out there, so just use one that's more convenient for you. And I really recommend getting a gallon size water because I feel like that's very helpful. We had one of those smaller ones before, but now we have this like really huge one, and I feel like that's really, really nice, and it's enough for the chickens. It's very large, so they can share. The next thing that also goes with water is a water heater, which is really important for the winter time. You're gonna want to get the water heater, trust me, because in the winter time, if you live in cold places like I do, where it gets really, really cold to the point where water freezes, then your water is going to freeze every single day, and you're going to have to literally refill that up. Like, I mean, you always have to refill your water up for your chickens because it's good, and chickens need clean water every single day and nice cool water. So you're also going to need like this, like also going back to the water, this like container thing where you can keep the water in during the winter time, because we've noticed how when you use like those other waterers with the water heater, it doesn't really work for some reason. I don't know why, and it's just more convenient for us for you to use a normal little container thing, because it'll be easier to take out the frozen water and refill it up. It's just so much more convenient So you can buy like these black things. I really want to buy that this year. It would be very nice if we get that for the chickens. Or you can just do what my dad did, is get a container, just chop it off and fill it up. That works too. Okay, so the next thing you're gonna need is an egg basket. If you only have like 3 chickens, I'm pretty sure you don't really need one. You can just hold the 3 eggs in your hand. But if you have 11 chickens like us, like if you have 5 or more chickens, you're gonna need this. This is gonna be very helpful for you. I really wish we had one beforehand, because we literally had to carry like a bunch of eggs in our hands and stuff like that. But now we just put our little eggs in here, and it's much more easier to carry around. We got this one at Michael's around Easter time. I'm pretty sure you can get them at Tractor Supply or some other local feed stores or something. So just find one. Around Easter time, obviously they have a bunch of these, and we like this one because it's tiny and it's cute. But you can also, I'm pretty sure you can find them on Amazon and other places like that. Next thing you're gonna need is our boots. I really would recommend getting rain boots. They're just so much more easier to use. It's important that you use a specific type of shoe when you go outside, especially when you're around animals and stuff like that. That way you can just keep like all those little germs away from going inside. And obviously one way to prevent that is to wash your boots after you finished all your outside chores and from going outside, just to keep everything nice and clean inside. And it also helps, and that way, because you're obviously going to be touching your chicken's poop and other stuff with your shoes, and it also helps to keep your good shoes from getting dirty. And it's just much more convenient to have boots on, and it's really nice. Obviously you probably don't have to use rain boots. You can use some like this type of cowboy boots or something like that. But these are the 10 main things that you're gonna need for your chickens to help make your chickens feel happy and safe and good and healthy. So that's it for today. And speaking of boots, it's time to wash off the boots and call it a day. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.